Hi guys, and welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. So today's tarot reading is for the month of November 2014, and it's for the zodiac sign of Capricorn. The Eight of Swords and the Four of Swords, okay? Both of these cards are about feeling trapped in a situation and kind of wanting to take a rest from it, kind of wanting to free yourself from it, but feeling that you can't. Let's talk about the Eight of Swords firstly. In the Rider-Waite deck, it really does show the picture for what it is, and it's a woman who is bound. She's surrounded by 8 swords, but between those 8 swords, I think there might be maybe 4 sides on one side, 3 sides on the other. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I remember the pack to be, and maybe a sword on the floor or something like that, and she's kind of blindfolded. And I think her hands might be bound as well, or she might have them sort of just behind her back, something like that. But between those swords, there seems to be an opening in which she could escape, but she doesn't want to. It looks like she doesn't want to. It looks like she's sort of just given up. She's kind of admitted defeat and just giving up. So I think for a lot of you Capricorns in the month of November and going on, or right now, there could be a sense of feeling trapped in something. Now, it could be feeling trapped in terms of your monetary situation, your love situation. If it's a money situation, a work situation, maybe being in a job that you really don't like, but you're doing it because you need to earn a wage and you don't really know how to get out of it. I think if it's a love situation, again, it's just a case of being trapped in a situation with someone, or feeling that you're trapped in a situation of someone and seeing no way out, maybe because of obligations, children, you know, lifestyle, not really having your own place to go to, that type of thing. And I think that for some of you Capricorn people in the month of November, and obviously, as I've said, going on from now, it's going to be a case of that you're feeling trapped in something and you're feeling bound. But what this card is actually saying to you is that you're not bound and you're not trapped. You actually do have options. You just need to look for them. But for some of you, I think that there is a sense of defeat and feeling that you've just given up because you really don't know what your options are. And this was kind of backed up with the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords, again, is a card about feeling trapped. But this time it's a card about sort of retreating from it, retreating from a stressful situation and taking time out to kind of recuperate. And I think for a lot of you Capricorns in the month of November, there is this sense of feeling bound to something and feeling that you can't get out, even though there are options there which are signified in that opening within the Rider-Waite pack picture of the Eight of Swords. I think for some of you there is still the sense with the Four of Swords that you are trapped and that you really would like some retreat from feeling this way. And this was kind of backed up, the sense of being trapped and not sort of knowing what your options are, with the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite pack, I'm going to try using that pack from now on if I can, because it just shows what I mean a lot more clearer, with a lot more clarity. But within the Rider-Waite pack, it shows a guy looking up sort of at a vision, at a picture of 7 cups. And these cups, there are jewellery in some of the cups, there's sort of garlands of flower around some of the cups. And it really does depict about illusions and creating castles in the sky and wishful thinking and all of that type of thing. And I think what this cup is saying, what this card is actually saying, and what it definitely said to me, is that for some of you guys, you're feeling trapped in a situation and you'd like something else, you'd like more. And perhaps some of you guys, you're actually in your head. So a lot of stuff that you want, a lot of what it is that you want to achieve, the way that you would like to be, the way that you would like your life to be, is all caught up in your mind. So I think this card kind of works 2 ways with Capricorns, with some of you Capricorns in the month of November. I think on the one hand, it's saying that the way that you're feeling about your situation, feeling trapped for some of you guys, feeling trapped in something, is an illusion. So, you know, it's an illusion, it's not real, it's the way that you're perceiving it that's creating the reality that you're in a way. And I think it also can work on the other hand, and it's kind of telling you to get out of your head, because you're stuck in your head. You have a vision of how you want your life to be. You have an idea, you know what you want, but it's all in here. You're not actually taking any action to create it in the external world. And I think this card is really saying, get out of your head and do something about it. If you're feeling trapped in a situation, the only person that's actually trapping you is you. The only person that's keeping you bound is you. Because in the Eight of, as I've said, in the Eight of Swords, in the traditional Rider-Waite pack, it does show the woman who is bound, she's blindfolded, so there's a lack of clarity going on there. She feels that she's trapped, but there is actually an opening between the swords that she could escape through. But because she's got the blindfold on, she can't see it. She can't see the opening. She needs to take it off. But she refuses to take it off because she's kind of in this defeatist mode. And I think what it's saying is that you could take the blindfold off and you could easily just walk through the gate. But for some reason you're refusing to, and you're wanting to stay in your head. And I think what this is saying up until now, this reading, is you need to get out of your head and you need to take action. If you've got dreams, if you've got aspirations, if you've got goals, it's no point in it all being an illusion. There's no point in kind of fantasising and daydreaming about stuff. You need to get out there and you need to make stuff happen. And I also picked the Temperance card. And again, this card is all about balance and moderation being the key to success. So moderating certain behaviours, moderating certain ways of doing things, thinking about it, a balance of stuff, because that's the key to your success. And I think in terms of this card, this is simply saying you need to moderate what's going on here and bring it out there, okay? So moderate and to kind of temper the negativity that's going on within you, potentially for some of you Capricorns in the month of November and even going on now. So if you're feeling trapped in a situation and you're fantasizing consistently, or you know, in your head you know how you want things to be and you're continuously just letting it be an idea that's going around in here, then you need to moderate that thinking, and you need to take some of that thinking and you need to try and put it out there into the external world. So you need to kind of moderate how much you're actually just sitting down thinking about something and thinking about an idea and thinking about a way to achieve an ambition, and you need to actually try and make it a reality. If it's a monetary thing, then you need to think about ways in which you can actually combat that. So if you're stuck in a job and you actually want to be self-employed, then you need to find out about how you can go about being self-employed. If you've got a business you want to set up and it's money that's holding you back, find out things about funding, for example. Find out if there's any way that you can try and set this business up on the least amount of money that you can potentially get away with. And then I drew the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands card. And on the one hand, I mean, this is where it got really interesting for me, because it suggested to me that if for some of you Capricorns in the month of November you are feeling trapped and you are feeling defeated and you are sort of in your head a lot about the way you want things to be, but you're too fearful to actually, you might be too fearful to actually go ahead and make those changes. There might be a lot of self-doubt that's going on. This card, the Queen of Swords, who is she? Who is the Queen of Swords? Well, the Queen of Swords is someone who is very kind of, she's very straight. She's emotionally detached. She's quite a cold character, okay? And what this card is saying is you need to kind of detach yourself from something. So I think what you need to do, I think what this card is saying is that you need to kind of detach yourself from the what ifs, if that makes any sense to you. So detach yourself from kind of thinking, from the negativity of the situation. Detach yourself, become much more focused on feeling trapped in a situation and you want to change it. You need to focus more on the change rather than more on the idea of change, okay? You need to become far more, how can I say, cold like the Queen of Swords. You need to stop feeling that you have to be in a situation. You know, if this situation involves hurting someone, for example, so wanting to get out of something but feeling that you're going to hurt the person, then really be like, as with the Queen of Swords, you have to come first. You have to come first. So you have to become far more cold, far more emotionally detached, to focus on achieving the goals in order to overcome an obstacle, okay? Because feeling trapped and staying trapped is no good to you. having something in the brain that just stays there. Oh, I wish that things were this way, or I wish that things were that way, or, you know, oh, if only I could have this, if only I could have that, or, you know, just sitting thinking and fantasizing about how lovely it would be if this was this and that was that. That's not going to do anybody any good. It just isn't. It just remains a fantasy if that's all you ever do. If you just carry on living the same old life that you're not happy with, and your true goals are just in your head, who's that going to serve? No one. Who's that going to serve? If you're in an unhappy marriage and it's been unhappy for a while and you feel, you know, completely bound by it, and you can think of a better way of living but you don't want to hurt the person that you're with, this card is really saying, you've got to please yourself. That's what being, a lot of the time, unfortunately, cold and detached means sometimes. It means about putting yourself first. I suppose at the sacrifice of other people and other situations, but putting yourself first. And really, I think this card is saying put yourself first. The Queen of Wands is a very attractive, assertive, lively, vivacious character. She knows what she wants. She goes for what she wants. She doesn't have time to mess about. These cards to me are saying you don't have time to mess about. You don't have time to give in to feeling unconfident, feeling that you can't do stuff, feeling that your life is just one big hole. You don't have time for that. You don't have the time for that. Life is short. Life is to be lived. So for some of you Capricorns in the month of November, if you're feeling like, I'm trapped, I can't get out of it, oh well, my goals might as well just stay in my head because I can't think of a way to make anything come alive. I can't think of a way, you know, I'm trapped. You're not trapped, because there is an opening there for you. Take advantage of opportunities that come your way. No matter how small those opportunities might be, take advantage of them. Don't let everything just stay in your head. Get out there and try and make a difference and try and do it. Temper those fantasies in your head if that's what's happening. Temper that. Do you know what I mean? Just temper just temper how you go about thinking about things, the ideas that you have. If it's always just stuck in here, if it's all you ever do is just think about how you'd like to change things but you don't do anything about it, it's time to turn the tables. It's time to turn how you're thinking, okay? Stop thinking about, oh, if things could be like this, if things could be like that, or I wish this, or I wish that. Think about, actually, no, how can I do this? I'm going to try and make that happen. Research it, do it. Because you're the only one that's keeping yourself in your position, if that's what's happening for some of you Capricorns in November. Become more like the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Make it happen. Focus. Become cold and detached if you need it, if that's what's going to put you ahead. I'm not saying to be cold and detached all the time, obviously, because kindness is key in this life. But if something's holding you back, or if you feel it's holding you back, and you're only doing it to please others, then perhaps you need to be thinking about pleasing yourself for a change. Don't be afraid to be who you are. And the final cards that I came up with, I'm sorry, this is probably a rather long reading, but I'm quite passionate about it, were the Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. These are two really, really good cards, because the Three of Pentacles, on the one hand, it's all about combined efforts assuring success. So it could be that the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords are two characters that are going to help you to move on with your plans. It could be that someone's coming in who is quite analytical, who is quite logical, as in the Queen of Swords, who thinks mainly in logical terms rather than heart terms, who thinks with her head or his head rather than his heart. And it could be that you meet someone who's quite creative and who's quite vivacious and who's quite lively and who's quite motivated and who knows what they want and who is going to help you go for it. It could be that you meet two people like this in November, or you meet one person who comprises all of these qualities that helps you move ahead with your plans. Okay? And it could be that in that combined effort, you get success. On the other hand, this card is telling you, if this doesn't represent people, but it represents who you are, and the cards are telling you to let those qualities come out of you, then it could be that with this card, that it's saying that you need to kind of follow your own path, because that's going to ensure success for you. Because at the moment you are working in somebody else's world, and that's making you feel like you're trapped. You're working as a part of somebody else's plan, and that's what's making you feel that you're trapped. And your visions and your fantasies are all about working for yourself, working in your own life. And it could be, I think, with the Three of Cups saying, sorry, the Three of Coins saying, you know, if you start to take the bull by the horns and you start to get things moving for yourself, then you're going to get a lot more success than working for someone else. So it has two sort of different types of meanings, but both of them mean prosperity, and both of them means assured success once you start coming into your own, whether that's if it's a part of a combined effort, or whether it's an effort on your own to get things going for yourself. And the final card we've got is the Ten of Pentacles. And what more can I say about the Ten of Pentacles? It's just a wonderful card. Abundance coming in. Wealth. Gain. Prosperity. Completion. 10 is the number of completion. It's just a wonderful card. To me, this reading really does say you don't have to be trapped. There are always options out there. There are always ways to free yourself from certain situations that you really don't like being involved with. If it's a work situation, so for example, this means that you're working for someone and you're feeling trapped in your work because you're not getting paid enough, you're not interested in the work, you want to do your own thing. It's saying, come on, believe in yourself. You know who you are, you know what you want, but you've got to recognise those qualities and you've got to act on them. Okay? You've got to stop letting things just stay in here, and you've got to let them out there. But without growth within you, how can you actually have growth in the outside world? Once you achieve this, once you start achieving this, you're going to achieve this. So if it's a monetary situation, these are the seeds that are growing, but it's going to grow into something much more huge. A lot of the time, Ten of Pentacles can mean massive windfalls, financial lottery wins, win on games, unexpected money coming in, lots of cash coming in. And a lot of the time, in my experience, whenever this is shown up in my card, it's meant that I've had something unexpected come in. But I think that this really is saying to me, along coupled with this card, is you're going to have a lot of abundance coming in if you just start to follow that path. If you just start to make, you know, strides in getting whatever it is that you want out there. You can grow it. If you start getting involved in the process, that's the only way that you're going to get change. It's the only way that you're going to unravel yourself, if you start getting involved in the process of making those changes. That's when you'll see little acorns grow into great big oaks. Okay guys, so that's your reading for the month of November. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'm going to see you on the next reading, which will be your love reading. I'm going to try and get that done this week. Well, I have to, because it's for the November batch of readings. But I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Take care.